Doesn't it feel a little bit?
I'm a published author. No, I honestly, it's probably the thing my mother's most proud of. But yeah, I'm like, I've accomplished a lot, but she's like, published author. But yeah, no, it's unexpected. It was one of those things. Everybody was like, "Oh, did you feel pressure writing a book?" And I didn't aim to do it. It was for River. Like, I just did it for her. Like, so she could learn how to read when she's older and see these pictures of places she'd been and everything. And
right,
so the story's already there.
Young, right?
She was one, yeah, but she had already had like 6 stamps, like major stamps in her passport. Like, I'm like, she's traveling the world, and I'm like,
I was like, she's not going to remember any of it.
So. We're also on Facebook Live, so say hi to everybody on Facebook Live. So if you guys have questions, make sure you get on the comment bar and start typing away. So does she know it's about her and her adventures?
I think she's starting to get that. But, I mean, I will be honest with you. The giant picture of my face on the back is her favorite part. Because she calls it Mama's book. She's like, oh, the Mama book. And I'm like, okay. But she loves, two of her favorite pages. She's 2, so it's hard to keep their attention span. But
no kidding.
Yeah, it's like that of a gnat. So, so she loves it, but she always, every time I'm reading it, she'll go, Mama, Mama. Like I've forgotten that my picture's on the back.
You are getting rave reviews, by the way, by 3- and 4-year-olds.
Good. Somebody just told me that. I was like, that's amazing.
It's true. Like, all of my friends said, oh my God, my kid loves the book. They want more.
I know. I love that.
So do you feel the pressure? Because now you have Remington, thank God.
Yes,
Number
Remy
2,
B. Yeah,
beautiful baby, congratulations.
Very different from River Rose, but that'd be a whole different book.
I know. I was going to say, be prepared for dinosaur books or like killing insects.
No, she loves Jurassic Park. She's 2, y'all, and she's seen them all like 1,000 times. And I shouldn't show them to her, but she saw them on my sister's computer, and she thinks it's funny. Like, they'll be like ripped to shreds, and she's like, right? Like, I'm like, what? Like, so weird.
Do your best impersonation of your daughter.
Oh, well, that's like like every time I'm like you, or when I'm putting in her bed every night, she makes me sing to her, like after we read books. And so I'm singing to her, and she's very demanding about which song. And then she will put her face or her hand in my face like this close and be like, bye. When she's done. Like, I'm not even done singing, like mid-song, she'll be like, bye.
You're like, people pay for this, girl.
I'm like, that is rude. I'm like, what? Like, and then she just wants to go to bed. She's over it, so.
Did you, when you came home from the hospital, because I remember when I brought Evan home, and just looking at this beautiful thing that I actually made, I couldn't even believe it.
We are amazing people.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Women really are. Mommies,
it is.
Once you become a mom, you realize how much respect you have for your own mother.
Yes. And for yourself. Like what we accomplish in a day.
Yes, right?
Yes. It's amazing.
It is.
Yes.
And do you take on all the responsibilities when you're off of work? Like, do you clean? Do you
I'm anal. Like, cleaning is kind of my thing that I do. If you see me cleaning, I'm trying to get my stuff together. I'm like, I feel messed up and like things are disheveled in life. So if I'm cleaning, I'm trying to work through something. So I clean a lot.
That makes sense.
Yes. But no, I do stuff, but we do have an amazing village of people that, like, his mother's around a lot. We have 2 amazing nannies because we have 4 kids actually. So yeah, because we have a 9 and 15-year-old as well. So
I became a stepmom myself with 2
blended families
kids.
are hard. Yeah,
hard and wonderful because then I don't have to push anything else out of my body. So I feel blessed. You know what I mean? But it also gets kind of complicated at times.
It is. Yeah.
How has it been for you blending the family?
That's a thing of still figuring it out. Like, it's one of those things where you want to make. Because everyone is equally loved in our household. I don't actually love a child more than the other. But that's because I was a stepkid as well. So I know what it's like to be a stepkid and the only one. And I had like 5 stepbrothers and sisters at one time, and I was the odd man out. So like I feel like I'm very good at that. But it's still, at the end of the day, it's like, she's just her personality. She's just everywhere. Like, and she's the one that wants to be in pictures and stuff. So, it is kind of hard to even the playing field a lot, but yeah.
I see. I only have one, like, out of my body, and I always ask parents, like, do you have a favorite if they have multiple children? They always say they do.
They do?
Yes.
No.
But
Remy and River are completely different from me. If I'm choosing just from me, even Seth and Savannah, they're completely different. Like, we have 4 kids that could totally be from different, like, families. Like, I don't even know how they're related. Like, they're all very different, and they're all fun at different things. Like, Seth and I, the 9-year-old, go on like dates to like the movies. Aww. But like Savannah is different. She wants to go shopping. She wants to do some fun stuff, and
did they
with
accept
me.
you right away?
I mean, I think it's hard. I think it's one of those things where they probably, and I get this too because I've been that kid. I've had, multiple parents, 2 divorces. So it can be very hard because you feel like you're betraying someone if you like someone.
Right.
But we navigate it pretty well. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a challenge sometimes.
It is, and I know you did state that you were done having kids, and you even said, I was on the table and I said tie it up. So I was like, did she mean tie him up?
Oh,
or
we're
her
both.
up?
I know. I was literally pregnant with Remy B, and I was like, "You are getting fixed.
Oh,
this
really?
will never
Are
happen
you
to
both
me again."
fixed?
Yes, it is never. If something happens, it's a miracle of God.
It is immaculate
I literally
conception.
told my OBGYN on the table, like while open, I was like, "If I get pregnant again, I will find you."
Oh
I was
my
like,
God! And is that
yeah.
because, like me, that's why I wrote a pregnancy book.
It's horrible.
Horrible.
Nothing is beautiful. Nothing is magical. I don't care. Whatever, you're that person that gets that pregnancy. Good for you.
It's
but like
awful.
No, yeah. There's nothing. I will remind my children every day of their lives what I did.
It was exactly.
Yes.
And it was like I feel like every symptom went wrong just so I could write a book. But you also had like morning sickness.
Oh, I was like hospitalized, both pregnant, and then I thought I wanted another little buddy to like be able. I didn't want a kid just to be odd man out because I felt like I was that a lot, and so I wanted her to have somebody her age, like when we're traveling. And so I thought, okay, we'll just do it. There's no way it can happen again. Like that's what I kept saying. There's no way it could be. It was worse. Remy's pregnancy was worse than River's.
Well, now River, was she okay with the new boy? And
loves him. Thinks he's a doll. Yeah, definitely.
Literally dresses him up.
Yeah, he's gonna totally get his hair curled and makeup on. Like she's gonna do that. But she doesn't love when he's in my arms and she's not.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, she's very much a diva.
I can't imagine. Like Evan always says to me, make sure you don't have any more because I want all of your attention.
Yeah, well, that's very honest, and every kid thinks that.
I said, don't worry about it. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
My eggs are fried.
Man.
You're good to go.
Yeah, but isn't it an amazing thing? It's never going to happen again.
In the recent news about Kim Kardashian, it made me, stop and think how grateful I am that I don't use my social media so much to kind of showboat, and I'm always so protective of, especially with my kids.
Yeah.
Did that affect you in a way now that you're, a mom, how much more protective you are?
I mean, I would have been a mama bear either. My mom was like that. So, but she's also I'm very independent because she was like, well, you're going to trip and you're going to have to get back up on your own because I'm not always going to be there. So like she was that mom too. But as far as like being famous and like having kids in the spotlight and stuff, it's going to happen regardless of my wants or desires. Right. So I just like to control it. So we put pictures out of like River or Remy or Seth and Savannah, like a group thing. Like we do that, but we try and not do it too much. But it's going to happen anyway. Right. So I'd rather have a little bit control. But it is a hard thing with our 15-year-old daughter. We're like, you don't understand. Like what you post will go everywhere. Like if it's negative and they find out you're my stepdaughter, which a lot of people know, like unfortunately, because of who I am, you have to suffer for that. And I'm sorry, but you get a lot of benefits. You met Ariana Grande. You met, I'm like, you get benefits as well, but it does suck.
I got to tell you though, thank God you post your photos because your baby pictures, I told you this before. I was like, you make the cutest babies ever.
Oh, I think that because I'm their mom, but thank you.
I mean, Barbara Walters once said to me, she was like, I came up with a saying when I see a baby that I don't think is very cute. I'm like, you actually think babies aren't cute? She's like, some are ugly. And
people say this, and I think they're adorable.
I do too. But you make extra cute babies. But
Oh,
Barbara
thank
Walters said, I have a famous, a regular saying, which is, now that's a baby.
Oh, no.
And that's her way of saying
that's not a compliment.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah, that's like, well, that's a bright shirt. And I'm like, oh,
I thought
thank
so too,
you.
Kelly.
Yeah, no. I have had someone say that to me once, and I was like, that was not a compliment.
No, not at all.
No.
We're talking about Kelly Clarkson, a new book, River Rose and the Magical Lullaby. I can't even say the word. Lullaby.
Say it 5 times.
Lullaby.
Lullaby.
It's so fun. When I read it to Evan, he was like, oh my God, can this really happen for real? I'm like, this is fiction. So
I
make
know.
sure
But I love that though, because Matilda was my favorite book growing up, and I loved the magical element of it. And I'm kind of still a 10-year-old in my heart. Like, so I'm still like, there's possible magic out there. Like literally I'm crazy. But I love that. I love not, bumming kids out soon, like too soon. You know what I'm saying? I like keeping a little bit of the magic. I mean, I don't want them to like try and fly off the roof
No,
or house
exactly.
or something. But
you're not Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the same problem because Evan is still, with Santa, and I'll leave it at that. Like he's already in 8th grade, and I can't break it to him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I want him to believe in that.
Someone hasn't broken that to him yet. See, that's my.
They have, and he says, "Shame on you for not believing."
Oh my gosh, I love him.
I know.
I want
Trust
a kid that says that.
I know.
He's like, it's shame on you. Bad list, naughty list.
Exactly.
I love that. What a great kid.
He is a great kid.
I had that talk with Brandon too about the whole Santa, like all of that, because I don't ever remember believing in any of that. Like, I'm a decade younger than my brother and 7 years from my sister. And then I grew up alone, and I grew up in, I don't know, I don't ever remember like thinking I just knew like, what really did happen.
So now do you then take your own childhood into consideration and say, I want to give my child and children everything I didn't have?
I mean, sometimes, but I don't want to be that. I don't want to be you at 8th grade. Like I don't want that moment because I'm like, then they're like, so you're a liar. Right. Right?
That's exactly right.
And I'm like, well, it's not lying. It was fun, right? And then it's not. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. He sat on the bed with me last month and said, tell me the truth. And I said, it's true. And he goes, that's what I thought. And then I literally died on the bed.
You feel like such yeah. And I told Brandon that, and Brandon, like, hands down was like, you're not winning this one. We're doing it. She's going to believe in it. It'll be fine. She'll get over it, like, one day when we have to break the news. But he's, like, all about the elf on the shelf. Like, we, like, have snowball fights. We, like, change it around, so. But now the 9-year-old and 15-year-old know. Like, the 9-year-old recently, he was a late comer, too. He was, like, 8, I think, too. And, but now he loves doing it. He loves, with River, he'll be like, I don't know what Santa will do. And he's very dramatic about it. It's like, I'm not sure. Like,
that's so cute.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So you wrote an original song, I guess, for the book, right?
Well, I actually wrote, I'm that Tool artist that was like, I should write my daughter a song, a lullaby. And so I did that before even the books even happened. And I just thought that would be a cute mode of travel other than an airplane because she was going everywhere. And then, so there are little balloons that appear when the lullaby is sung, and then she travels to these like, magical places. It's the zoo, but it's like magical. They like dance and sing and talk and everything.
Did you sing lullabies right when you came home from the hospital?
My God, like in the womb. Like I was so excited. It was almost like I was waiting. I was like, I need to get pregnant so I can just sit there and be like, and it's like Mary Poppins full on. Like I'm all in.
I came home from the hospital and realized when I was looking at him that I didn't know words to one lullaby and literally sang Lita Ford.
Oh, I'm totally sang Scrubs to her.
Really?
Yeah. I'm totally saying like inappropriate songs.
I'm like, I went to a party last Saturday night. I couldn't get laid. Yeah. I'm like, he'll never know what I'm saying.
And they don't. And then I literally would sing that. I'd be like, you don't know what I'm saying. I'm like, I could say anything.
Are you an enforcer on like discipline? Like, how do you have timeouts? What do you do? What's
unfortunate for our children is that there is no good cop. Right. I came from a very strict family, and like, my mom, and then my husband did as well. So like my husband grew up like at one point, like for years, like I think his whole high school career, like in Wyoming, like they chopped wood, like used it for like heat, like hardcore, like lumberjack. It's so hot. But he was like full on cowboy. Like, so, we worked really hard, and I was really poor. So we had a lot of obstacles, and I think that's why our family was very strict. Like, we had to, be respectful, have a servant's heart, like all that. So we're pretty hardcore, and it's pretty hardcore right now because she's 2.
Yeah, the terrible.
So there are a lot of lessons being learned.
Well, I love that you actually refer to her as a terrorist at one point.
She is an absolute terror. She will go from like the sweetest, like everyone's like, she's never bad. I'm like, because you've been here for like 5 minutes. Like she is just hell on wheels, and like 30. Like she just like changes.
I used to call Evan a toddlerist. I'm like, I don't negotiate with a toddlerist.
Oh, and that's her thing. She always tries to negotiate, and I'm like, I'm sorry. You're not paying any bills. Like, this isn't like a democracy. This is just like, I am telling you what's happening.
I'm the boss.
Yeah.
We've got some Facebook Live questions, and our beautiful, sexy producer, David, who actually showered for you today.
Oh, I did for you as well.
Our Facebook Live question, Stephen asks, Kelly, would you ever consider judging a TV talent show like American Idol? That's actually a good question.
I think I've done that quite a bit. Like, people always ask me that, especially The Voice. My husband manages Blake, but people always ask me if I'd ever do that. And I love shows like that. I just don't know if people are like over that. Like, oh, good, you're doing a singing competition. That's new. Like, I don't know.
I think out of everybody, I'd want to see you on The Voice.
Oh.
I'd want to see what you'd have to say.
You wouldn't be like, wow, again? Like,
no, not at all.
Not even a little.
With everything that you've learned and the way that your disposition, you're kind, but you give like criticism that's constructive.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So that's what I aim for.
So maybe we'll see you on The Voice.
Oh, maybe. I love Miley and Alicia on there, though.
You do?
Yeah, 2 chicks. I love that.
Yeah, I do. I don't know how much I love Miley, but it's not about me right now.
I just love that they're all very different personalities.
Yeah,
I think that's entertaining. That.
Yeah. Maybe you can create your own.
Yeah, like there's not enough singing chess. There's not enough.
Would you ever write a nonfiction book about your life? From Denise.
Oh, I feel like a few people would have to die.
Why does it have to be so dramatic?
Because, well, in order to tell truth and not like, I wouldn't want to I always try and take the high road, which is a very lonely road at times. But yeah, no, people would be, my best friend always tells me, she's like, you should write the real, what really happens. And I'm like, I mean, it's unreal. Just the things that are said or the things that are it's almost so much.
Is this about celebrity or the music industry?
All of it. All of it. All of it. It's just amazing. And luckily I grew up in a small town. I have a very hardcore mom, love her, but she definitely trained me to be very independent and secure. And yes, so I had great training for it. I don't think I would have survived without it, but yeah, but I don't know. It's just crazy stuff happens.
What surprised you most though about the music industry that
that I don't sing as much as you'd think. you know what I'm saying? I sing, I always laugh, recording and touring. It's a little part of what I do because you have to get out there and promote and market and everything. And it's, it ends up being kind of a small, it's funny because it's to sing, you have to obviously promote yourself. You have to obviously get out there.
Right. So you have 3 jobs primarily to do it.
So, and it's by the time you get to the one you signed up for, it's okay.
The thing that surprised me, because Donnie has taught me a lot about the music industry, but about how much musicians don't really make money off of their albums. They really make it off touring.
No, it's all touring. Yeah. Well, especially now. I mean, we did when Breakaway, even in my career, I think in my career, the span of those years, it has been so drastic. When I started on Idol, first and especially my second album, that's when CD sales were still doing so miraculously well. But then it just kind of, somebody pulled the plug and it just became internet and streaming and everything. And then people are trying to catch up, of what to do. But luckily I love touring and that's where you make.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I
love
touring. Because there's a lot of pressure and it's, and following Donnie on tour, I'm like, this is exhausting and I'm just riding in a bus.
Yeah. It's so fun though. If you're the person, you love it. When I'm on stage, it's okay, it's all worth it now. It's, all the BS that goes with it. Sometimes it makes it worth it.
It's your gift and your voice is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Have you ever had a traumatic event happen on stage?
Yes. Wherever this is going, yes.
Really? Have you forgotten lyrics or fallen down?
That's every show.
Shut up, really?
I am the worst. I have to have a teleprompter at this. Here's my thing. I used to shame myself about it because even when I was a kid, I'm totally gonna have some kind of dementia or something when I'm older. I have no memory. It's horrible. And even if I write the song, it's worse. So I finally ran into, I think it was Steven Tyler, and then I found out somebody else, Barbra Streisand, someone crazy, these crazy big artists, they have teleprompters. And I was like, we can do that?
They do.
I was I've been shaming myself for years, just having lyrics printed on this tape to give me oh, that's the line. I'm the worst. And so now I not for the talking, but yeah, but so now I have that. I'm horrible at it.
Me too.
Especially because people have signs and then you're reading them and I'm like, wait, which verse am I on? Yeah.
Trust me, you're going to see, because we're going to play a game in a little while. But I was trying to practice your songs and I was sending videotape from my producers crying, going, I can't even remember one line that's right.
Honest to God, I'm the worst
lyrics.
Yes, but it's a talent. It's a talent. My friends say it's a hidden talent. It'll rhyme somehow, and it'll just be well, sure, that was how it was supposed to be written.
I never slept on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
that's where I'll go.
Oh, one time on SNL, I didn't even know I said this, but I said something about, all I wanted was horses. I was like, what the? I was like, what? And my friend was like, no, you said full on, all I wanted was horses. I was like, no, I did not. And then I was like, I absolutely did.
Oh my God.
And it's not even that I get nervous. Like right now, if I sing a song, I'm not even nervous. I just forget them.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just not my thing.
And then I get tongue tied, like saying lullaby. I can't.
Yeah, and it's almost like my mouth can't keep up with my brain, like how fast it's computing or something. Like,
I mean,
I think that's like equals an airhead, but
no, it's
like,
not.
I think that's the definition. Oops.
But you know, though, it gets worse as a new mom too. It's like we get mom head. You get pregnant head, which is a little kooky.
Yeah.
And then you become mom head, where there's so much going on in your brain that I went to my doctor and said I'm slurring, and he's like, because there's so much going on in your head.
Yeah, you can't keep up. You're tired.
I can't keep up. So then, how do you de-stress with your husband? Like, do you guys take date night outs and?
Well, a lot of that I can't mention, but I definitely
that's the stuff we want to know.
But I definitely, I mean, I unwind with my husband every night, and we have wine. We have a little. We live on the river, like, and so it's beautiful at night. We go out and we just unwind. That's what I'm going to leave it there.
You have to unwind.
Unwind.
Are you able to like get away from or not get annoyed yet by children's cartoons? I mean, we talked about this on my radio show. There's certain ones that drive moms crazy, and I'm not sure that you reached that point yet.
No, kids do that. She is like me. I did not really watch cartoons.
Really?
I loved like I Love Lucy, and I loved like shows. She loves like real shows. It's weird. Like
weird.
we play things for her. We like try and get her into it.
Like Backyardigans or Little Einstein. I thought
yes,
for sure.
we try. And she's all about, she will watch Disney movies. She's into the movies, like, you know, Beauty and the Beast and stuff like that. Right. But like she doesn't really do cartoons. She's like, she'll sit down and watch Alaskan State Troopers, like with Brandon. She's like going on about her business and like a bear's on TV, and she's like, yeah, like. It's my favorite show.
Your
like,
kid.
She's weird and
Just
awesome.
Wait until you experience Caillou and that bastard.
Caillou. Yeah, she doesn't really, and I love that because I never actually got into cartoons a ton.
Oh my God. When she starts going, Mommy didn't give me the toy. You know she's watching Caillou.
Oh, is that the voice of the character?
Yes.
That's wrong.
And it's
why
a
would
boy,
you even do that?
8 and he's bald and he whines. I'm like, what is this character? We all can't stand
Wow,
him.
and he's like popular?
Very popular. And if you go, there's I Hate Caillou websites. Parents are just over it. Do you notice that? Does she have any like bad influences? Does she pick up bad behavior at all?
No, well, we have a 9-year-old boy, so I mean, we are like, please don't teach her to jump off the furniture, like, you know, because she'll die. You know, she'll just fall off and break her neck.
But she's not like swearing on accident or anything yet.
No, she doesn't, which is actually amazing. I mean, because I swear.
Yeah.
And it's like bad. My mother hates it, but I was a cocktail waitress, and that's the way to get it done. It's like you can't be sweet in that situation. So I do tend to have kind of a potty mouth. So.
I do like your potty mouth. I
try and hold back with her.
With her, I can imagine.
Yeah.
But I still love that makes you just, to me, so real and down to earth in interviews. I love that you said, I want to punch Adele in the face. I was like, oh my God, I love that quote more than any quote ever. Yeah. I just want to punch Adele in the face. I'm like, Kelly.
This other girl on the Today Show the other day, I was on the Today Show, and she's beautiful, Lindsey Vonn. Like, that scare. I was like, I wanted to poke her face. I was like, what the hell is happening? Like, she's so pretty. I was like, and then she was nice. And you're like, couldn't you have at least been rude? Like, so I could have like felt better about myself. Like,
or unintelligent.
It's like when you meet someone, you're like, oh, that's what a girl looks like. Okay. I'm like, what?
Right.
Yeah, she's beyond pretty.
Have you met any heroes of yours that you were kind of like, oh, I'm kind of disappointed? Because I've been there.
Yes.
And I was so sad afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's why I vowed to like not. If I really love people, like people know that I love Meryl Streep. She's probably very lovely, but I just don't want to meet her because I'm like, if she ruined that for me,
right?
That would be devastating, which is crazy. But yeah. It hasn't happened to me like nothing dramatic, but just like things that you're like, oh, okay.
I do love that you approached Miranda Lambert with some booze in you, asking to
sure.
Why don't you sing a song with me sometime?
Why not? Yeah. We did. We've done it a few times. Yeah,
it worked.
Yeah, you just got to know how to ask. Know your audience.
That's true. We're talking to Kelly Clarkson with her new book, River Rose and the Magical Lullaby. I can't imagine. I know that you're moving on to Atlantic Records.
Yeah, we're actually making the album right now.
how busy? I mean, I don't know how you keep your shit together.
I didn't one day, like last week. I didn't. I very much went down on a roller coaster. And my assistant was like, it's going to be fine. We're going to work on time management. And I was like, okay.
But now you're so happy though, because
this is
what you wanted to do.
Totally. And everything is actually like 99.9% of the time, everything is roses. Like I have a very great, successful marriage. Like I have awesome kids. I finally am with a label that really wants to do what I want to do. And I think I've earned it. So it's kind of awesome. And just making the record that I've always been wanting to make since a kid. And I have a project that I get to go with my kids. Like they're here today walking around somewhere. But yeah.
Shut up.
River was having tude because she was hangry. Yeah. She was needed to eat.
Aww. Yeah. Are you breastfeeding or is that too much information?
No, that's not too much. Or maybe it is, but I'll tell you. No, I actually pumped like crazy, like 40 ounces a day. And then I just went dry on both pregnancies for like 4 weeks straight. I was like crazy. I was like, I'm a rock star. And then I think it's because I have my doctor. Yeah, right. My doctor thinks that I might have like, it might be because of my thyroid. I have a really thyroid that doesn't work.
Too. I have a thyroid. My thyroid doctor is in the front row, actually.
Oh my God. Mine is like non-existent. Yeah. And everything and I know it's coming in this book, like everything that they tell you, maybe I don't, but everybody tells me like acupuncturist, everything is always like, there's just so many rules, like of like what you're supposed to, and it's like, are you serious? See, she's like, well,
but there is hope. I'll tell you that. But to have your schedule and to have any health issues at the same time makes it.
Well, and that's the thing. Like you go from like, it's like when it rains, it pours. You're like not busy at all, and then so I always have to change like. Everything changes. It's demanding more of you, and people don't understand the thyroid runs everything. Absolutely. So yeah, it's a bitch. Can I say that on the show?
Yes, you can.
It is so hard.
I know. And you know what else is hard is, I was thinking back of how Remington's 5 months old?
5 months old.
Oh my God. I remember coming home from the hospital in those first few months and like having to take care of him going, I don't know how to raise a human being. And then having to like cut his fingernails. And I remember chopping his whole tip of his finger off.
Totally I nicked my little one. I didn't do River at all when she was young, but I nicked him. And the shock and terror and just hurt on his face was devastating.
You'll never forget it.
Do you want a pony? I was like, I will buy you a boat right now. I was like, I'm so sorry.
I made the mistake of telling Evan that later on in life, and now he doesn't leave me alone. He's like, you hurt me bad back in the day. I'm like, that's all I ever did.
Yeah, you're like, you don't remember that.
I want to have a little bit of fun with you, and don't worry if you can't remember lyrics.